Chapter 22. Zone D. 2 months later, we were moved to Zone D of the camp. 2 more transfers to the north had taken place, but no one from our group was sent. Our group consisted of about 100 inmates, mostly from Long Tan camp. We were divided into 2 teams. Team 1 included those who had worked in the former South Vietnam government, while Team 2 comprised former members of the police force and Central Intelligence Agency of South Vietnam. Additionally, there were a few individuals arrested during the communist bourgeois purge campaigns, such as pharmacist La Tan and barbed wire tycoon Hong Kim Quy. Zone D of the Thursday Duk camp was located at the far end of the camp, covering about 1 acre and enclosed by 4 walls. 1 wall bordered Zone C, another bordered Zone B, while the other 2 sides faced open land separating the camp from surrounding residential areas. 2 watchtowers stood at the corners where Zone D connected to Zones B and C. There were 2 gates, each about 1 meter wide. One opened the open land outside the camp, and the other led to Zone C and the kitchen area. Inside Zone D were 2 parallel buildings, both running alongside the wall that separated the zone from Zone B. One building housed the kitchen staff and the cultural activities team, while the other, nearer the wall, was used as our detention area. Both buildings were made of brick, with tile roofs and ceramic tile floors. The structures looked new, likely having been recently renovated for use as detention facilities. Our 2 teams were placed in 2 rooms within the second building, which was enclosed by a barbed wire fence with a common cement-paved yard in front. I was assigned to the second room. It was a room about 8 meters wide and 15 meters long, with a small section at one end serving as a restroom. When we moved in, the room appeared very new, resembling a warehouse recently refurbished for use as a detention room. The paint and floor tiles were fresh. There was nothing in the room, so we had to spread mats directly on the floor for sleeping. 3 rows of mats were arranged, leaving a walkway between them. To hang mosquito nets, we tied 2 rows of wires along the walkway at both ends of the room. Our belongings had to be stored under our sleeping areas. The room looked like temporary housing. As always, I laid a poncho beneath my straw mat to keep out the dampness from the tile floor and placed my backpack against the wall. My sleeping spot was near the doorway, allowing me to see outside even when the cell door was half closed. The door was a sliding type made of iron bars. The camp authorities appointed Yuyan as the leader of Team 2. They divided the team into 3 groups, with Don, Tuan, and me as group leaders. This was challenging for me because most members of my group had been my former superiors. However, at Thursday Duk camp, we were not required to do much labor. The team and group structure was primarily for managing daily activities. The guards left our cell doors open during the day, allowing us to walk around within the fenced area. For about 2 hours daily, we had to listen to newspapers being read aloud, including the People's Army, Saigon Liberation, and occasionally the magazine Youth. These publications mainly contained news about the communist successes in various economic and political fields. The cell doors were locked at 6 p.m., after which we held group meetings following dinner. During these meetings, team leaders conveyed instructions from the guards. Later, the camp provided us with television in the room, and we replaced the meetings with TV watching sessions. This gave us the opportunity to see singers dressed in black pajama-style outfits with checkered scarves around their necks. Most of the songs were ones we had learned at Long Tan camp, but the singers performed them at a faster tempo and with higher-pitched voices, which we found impossible to mimic. The TV news was similar to the newspapers, focusing on the communist achievements in agriculture, economics, and politics. There was no coverage of the current situation within the country or internationally, except for the successes of socialist nations and the failures of capitalist ones. Entertainment films were mostly Soviet productions, emphasizing the virtues of communism and the flaws of capitalism and feudalism. The idle lifestyle at Thursday Duck Camp made the days drag on endlessly. We sought ways to occupy our time, such as playing chess, writing imaginary menus, cooking, or gathering to drink tea and chat. I spent most of my time practicing portrait drawing. Occasionally, I volunteered to chop firewood in the kitchen for an extra serving of crispy rice. At the end of 1976, the guards ordered us to cultivate a 1-acre plot of land outside the camp's fenced area. We planted pumpkins, mustard greens, and water spinach. However, the plot was too small for 100 inmates, so we only worked in the mornings. During the 1977 Lunar New Year, we were allowed to meet our families. My mother, wife, and child visited me for the 20 minutes permitted by the camp. The camp was only about 15 kilometers from home. My family expressed relief at the proximity, hoping to visit me more frequently. My wife was still at home raising our son and helping my mother with household chores. My boy still refused to let me hold him, and my mother remained silent as always, having endured too much suffering to speak. That New Year, we had plenty to eat, but no one enjoyed it, as thoughts of our families weighed heavily on us. The closer we were to home, the more intensely we missed it. In March 1977, many children inmates were brought to fill Zone B of the camp. These were troublesome children sent for re-education by their families or street children rounded up during the communist cleaning up the city campaigns. The communists referred to them as remnants of the American puppet regime. Soon after, large quantities of bricks were brought into the camp. We were tasked with moving and stacking them along Zone C and D. Construction was underway, but I didn't get to see completed, as I was transferred to Tan Lap Camp not long after.